spirit of the game.
Okay, so it was around.
What were the guards?
Why is this?
All right, you guys are talking now. Oleski and Jew, what are you doing to investigate the room?
Checking the body. How was he killed?
Okay, Pierre is indeed a gnome. He has black hair. You see his eyes have been closed, but if you peek at him, they are brown. There is a slit across the throat from what looks to be a perfectly sharp knife. Both of you, Oleski and Jew, please make an investigation check, please.
+1. 12.
17 this time.
Okay. Jew, you definitely can tell that it is definitely a weapon, nothing that would be a household type of thing. You're assuming a very sharp dagger. Oleski, as you're also checking the body, you happen to notice a very slight but distinct green ichor amongst the wound. It's very difficult with the blood that's been poured there and how they kind of cover, but you have taken care of many people before, even as a different type of aspect, and you notice that that is definitely poison. So the mayor had zero chance of coming out of this attack.
Okay. You also have some other questions from me.
Any defensive wounds on the mayor?
No.
Does it look like he put up a fight?
No.
So was there anything missing from the ledgers or added to the ledgers? And
No.
how many brandy glasses were in use? And do they still have brandy left in them? Okay,
Yes.
so we
Both
have.
look like they have been drank.
Does 5th edition have CSI?
That's all investigation.
So we have somebody that the mayor
They
knew.
make it very simple in this edition. I love.
So Alexi, what I'm thinking is this person, shapeshifter or whoever, took on the guise of Christine and did not.
That one.
Shut up, Alexa. Did not remove the guys all the way through the murder, because it doesn't look like he had any idea what was coming.
I agree. He certainly poured brandy for two, so he recognized or believed he recognized his killer, and was not afraid of them. I also note here in the wounds, you can see this this slight greenish ichor mixed in with the dried blood. He was the weapon was coated in poison. I doubt he would have survived even if it was a shallow cut. And insofar as the motive, we certainly have not found any evidence of robbery. And insofar as the ledgers go, I don't see any missing pages or changes. So nothing I would think that would cause, or nothing that somebody's trying to hide or cover up insofar as the taxes or monies in the city.
It's a deliberate hit job, straight in, kill, straight out. Not a robbery. It wasn't. Yeah, the person knew what they were doing from start to finish. So the hard part now is going to be trying to figure out: is this a shapeshifter? Is this the hag? And is this person still in town, or did they conduct the hit and leave? And if they can take on the guise of other people, Christ, we could have been talking to them already. It could be the sheriff at this point.
I'll collect a sample of the poison, and perhaps I can identify it later if we find it again. We are certainly looking for it's got to be a small weapon, because it wasn't recognized that Christine came in armed. The guards didn't say anything about, asking her for a weapon.
No, it appears to be a dagger of some sort, so that would be easily concealed in any type of garment.
Right. So we're looking for a hidden weapon of some kind that somebody's carrying. I wonder if the mayor's death benefits anybody particularly, like somebody who may move up into the position, or was he vocal against somebody or something that somebody else may have wanted out of the way?
Well, those are questions we'll have to ask if he had any enemies, if there's any potential for that. And then the third possibility, obviously, is the potential of the hag, who is just trying to frame us because of our interactions with it.
Unfortunately, we can't discount that theory either.
Yeah. So let's meet up with the others and proceed.
All right, so we're gonna we have some more questions for Gina.
We've been discussing.
You switch over there. Yeah, we've been chatting back and forth. So Gina, I know you're the secretary for the mayor, so you do all his work for him. You know all his business, the town business.
Chat,
Is there anybody that he's been
D&D
having
lately?
disagreements with lately, or might have a motive to get him out of the way, that he was blocking maybe something they wanted, or he had something they wanted? Is there anybody you've seen coming in here lately angry, or any angry letters, threatening letters that he's gotten?
I can't think of anybody who would want to hurt. Like I said, he's been a ladies' man. I mean, there's no jealous lovers. He never went after a married woman.
Is he married?
I don't know. Oh no, he's not married. He enjoyed the mayor's life. I don't know. We don't have a lot of business that transcends. We possibly could be growing. I don't know. There's been more of you guys kind of going up here and there, but
there could be. It doesn't necessarily have to be a business in the town. Maybe land. Anything like that he could be, influencing the ownership of, or blocking somebody. If just anybody you see come through here.
No, the only one that we have is the town up north.
You have dealings with the town.
Ms. Gina,
Which town up north are you referring to?
Let me check my notes. It is the coastal town up in the west, of the northwest here.
Ms. Gina, who's in charge of the town now that the mayor has passed?
Yeah. The sheriff, I guess.
And which of the guards were on duty last night?
They just go around, walking around the town. The guard speaks up. We don't guard. No one's attacked the mayor before. We just kind of make sure no one gets into bar fights and stuff at the tavern. That's mostly where we hang out. And a couple check the borders in case there's like wolves that come.
Ben, is that Paul talking or Sam?
Yeah, we don't. Paul. Sam's still upstairs.
Okay, so that's Sam. I'm sorry, that's Paul.
Paul's talking.
What was the name of the town up north?
Paul.
You're at Greenwood.
I know we're at Greenwood. What did you say? What the name of the town was up north? You might have cut out when you said it.
Sorry. It's called the Port of Fangport.
Port of Fangport?
I will.
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
Hey, a port. Fang?
About to freak out. I'm at.
Oh, Fang. I thought it was Fang, like AFANG. I was like, well, that's where the were.
Well, it'll be Fang after it gets overtaken, so yeah.
I'm going to, in addition to scowling at Paul, I'm going to say, so you're a guard who doesn't guard?
Oh, no.
Patrol.
Oh, no.
We don't. No one's attacked the mayor before. No one's ever been attacked. We deal with wolves. I'm just happy we have a job. Did you not notice we're 6 of us and the sheriff? We're a standing militia of at least 50 to 100 men. There's 6 of us, man. So we don't have to deal with anything. We just collect a little bit of money, gives us a chance to drink.
Sounds like every security
No.
guard
Your
ever.
lack
much
of
what we do, man.
professionalism.
We break up fights between farmers because the cow crossed the pasture. I'm telling you, it's really easy.
Your lack of professionalism
This is the worst shit we've
disappoints
had.
me.
Has the town been experiencing more problems lately? Things going wrong, or things going missing, or
Yeah.
livestock?
Just more critters in the north, and the farms have been having a little bit of issues. That's about it. Nothing in town. Nothing has ever happened. This is all unprecedented and new. And like I said, we haven't had a murder in here, not since I've been born.
Did you see anybody about town that you wouldn't normally notice?
I didn't see Kristen at all. I mean, I saw the sheriff, and I saw maybe a couple of people going in the warm cloak. I saw Pepperleer, and I saw you guys.
Well,
I can go over there and ask the other guys and see if anyone saw Christian.
I mean, if they saw anything unusual, it'd be good to know.
That's who. All right. Well, he takes off, and as you guys are kind of standing there, pretty much 10 minutes later, he'll come back and go. All right. Well, here's the thing. Diane's pretty good at checking around, and she was with William when they came around. And she said she saw sheriff, and then pretty much later on she saw him again late. She's usually not up late, but whatever. It's not, I mean, it's not uncommon, just not very common for him.
Wonderful, thanks for the
And
follow.
no one else who I talked to though saw Kristen. And like I said, we walk around the town. We don't guard a place. We walk around the town. And none of us saw Kristen. Definitely none of us saw Kristen go. Jeremy says he was mostly around the bloated floor because obviously one of us always sticks around with the taverns. And he never saw Kristen go in the tavern.
Did
So
they notice? Did they notice anybody else that might have been noticeable that they saw walking around or maybe near the sheriff's home?
They saw Kia, the herbalist. They saw, like I said, the sheriff. There's one of us. All of us were walking around town. And Pepper. That was pretty much late that night.
What did they see? Where did they see Kia and where did they see Pepper?
Oh God, I don't know. I get around. She usually collects stuff at night, like mushrooms and shit.
Okay, so they saw Kia out collecting
and then
herbs.
And then she came back to her house about midnight, I think.
Spectre, hi.
What about Pepper?
Lonnie said she was heading back to the warm cloak. She was there pretty much about before that. I think Kristen was supposedly left here by what Gina says. So she was in the warm cloak around 12:30.
She was in there at 12:30 or until 12:30?
The warm cloak at 12:30, I guess. But no one followed her in there.
Okay, so she wasn't there before 12:30.
But we didn't tail anybody. Right. No one tailed anybody.
Yeah, but if there was one of you guys were probably at the warm cloak prior to 12:30. You said there's always somebody there. Somebody's always at the bars. So she didn't come in until 12:30 then. So she could have been she was somewhere else up until then.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
Has the mayor met with anybody claiming to be important from out of the town recently in the last month or two? Somebody claiming to be an important merchant or
No one. She just met with the farmers and each of the town. I mean, he got to see every one of the shop owners to pay their taxes. That was about it. No one left angry. Everyone knows our part in the town.
When you said that the mayor was up later than normal, what time are we talking that the mayor was seen up later than normal?
I believe you said the sheriff was up later than normal.
I thought it said the mayor was up later. Okay.
No, the mayor never left. He's been here. Okay. The sheriff was out about 1 a.m.
And when you say seen up later than normal, did anybody talk to him, or did he have a reason that you know of that he was up?
Diane said she nodded at him, and he nodded back. But again, no one talked to him. No one. It was just weird. But we don't really chat at night because night patrolling is dull, and people are usually just heading home or doing something. So we're not like to keep people up really late at night. I mean, it's just rude.
Hey, everybody.
Have you ever solved a murder before?
Perhaps you should question those who were seen walking around.
I mean, we've heard that the sheriff was out later than usual. That might be worth looking into. And I think we should check the bars, like bartenders and staff, to see if anyone was out that's unusual. I don't think we've done that.
And the herbalist was out.
Actually, so going back to a previous question, other than us, our group that just came into town yesterday, you haven't seen any other strangers in town in a while then?
Oh, sorry.
Well, that doesn't look good for us.
Well, no, I'm thinking we just have to gather the people of the town and find a duplicate.
If they're still here.
It's such a small town. If they left in their own, without their disguise on, they would have been noticed.
I see what you're saying.
I see but one flaw in their plan, my friend. If they are successful in procuring a poison, changing their identity, and sneaking upon the mayor, and killing him with no defensive wounds whatsoever, it's quite likely that they could escape a town filled with guards that don't guard and people who haven't seen anything nefarious in 30 years.
Certainly, but the guards here would recognize one of their own townsfolk leaving the town, and nobody seems to have done that. And the town is small enough that if we were to get everybody together, then the duplicate face of whoever it is would give at least 2 people away. And if we didn't find a duplicate face, then
I don't think sneaking out of this town would be too hard.
Yeah. We can talk to the mayor, not tell him that he was seen out, and about at 1, ask him, hey, when you were walking on your walk and maybe patrolling or taking a walk last night around 1, did you see anything suspicious? And he might say, what do you mean? I was in bed. And that would confirm that it wasn't the mayor walking around. And then we know that we have somebody on our hands that is
Sure.
changing their shape, whether, by magic, by, a good disguise artist, or, whatever, means. We have somebody that's going to confirm. We definitely have somebody that's changing their shape on our hands, changing their guise, without telling him we know that he was seen out. We might be able to find out that way. Not lay all our cards out.
I agree. I think it's a good line of questioning for the sheriff.
Yeah, and it doesn't make it seem like we're questioning him, so he's not going to get bristled up if we're we're coming in saying, "Hey, what were you doing at 1:00 last night?" Be like, "Hey, we're trying to get a timeline going. Did you see anything while you were out last night walking? The guard said they saw you. Did you see anything?" That might help us piece this all together.
Actually, well, we know that the sheriff's a halfling, the mayor's a gnome. How many humans are actually in this town?
How many are in our party? Kristen, I think, didn't Gina say that Kristen wasn't? Yeah, we already knew that because the owner of the bar is a gnome.
Right. I'm thinking if somebody's using a disguise or even common magic to change their appearance, they can't change their size really. So that kind of narrows down our suspect pool considerably.
Yeah, even a changeling can't change size.
So you can change appearance, just not
size. You can change height, but not size. If you get.
So is Kristen human or Folsom? So that would
I believe
be the
Kristen
only,
was human.
So besides us, that would be the only person that this suspect could change into at that size.
Yeah.
How big was the hag in comparison?
I think hag is just regular size, isn't she?
I don't think she was too much. I mean, she was shorter than me, everybody's shorter than HK.
So
but
basically, we can't rule out the hag at this point, then.
I suppose.
No, but we can certainly rule out potentially almost everybody in town. We just have to look for relatively tall people.
As the arcane expert in the group, the spell Disguise Self can make you appear a foot shorter or taller than you are. So it could be somebody in between those ranges. How tall is Kristen? How tall is the sheriff? Is there a 2-foot difference? If it's 2 feet or less, then the Disguise Self spell would be able to make you look like both people.
Kristen is not a tall woman. She's like 5'4".
Okay.
So 5'3" to 5'5".
How tall is the sheriff?
The sheriff.
And how tall was the hag?
How tall is the sheriff? Well, we want to know.
She's always
We're trying to
What's that?
How tall is the sheriff?
The sheriff is a little taller. He's about 3'1". It's pretty
3'1".
Okay, so
Yeah.
disguise self would not work then because that's over 2 feet difference.
So if they saw the sheriff walking around, then it was actually the sheriff.
Well, are there other ways of changing your appearance that we might not be thinking of?
I have to defer to Alexi and Spoke on that answer. I'm not familiar with the magics or the ability to change.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Is there any other way of changing appearance be a spell or something magical that could also change height, not just looks?
I don't think there is. I think you have to stay within your size requirements. I think there's spells that would, as long as you don't touch the person, you could change size appearance. You wouldn't actually change your size, though. But you could change appearance, I suppose.
So why don't we do this? Let's actually go with Alexi's plan. This is a small town. There's not a lot of people. Why don't we have the sheriff call everybody in the town's...
Actually, Spoke and Alarian, please just give me 2 intelligence checks with your modifier, please.
21.
Both of you can do it at advantage.
I got 21 too.
All right. 21 still the best.
Couple of factors to work with. One of the spells immediately could possibly outwork that would be Polymorph Self. That easily, as a Canaway,
Polymorph was the one, yeah.
What you want to appear as you can be super large and all that stuff, and have the full effects. It's a very, very potent and powerful. On the other note, Spoke, between Disguise Self, change, and the Changelings and yourselves, you could still drop visual sizes by perspective. So no, maybe he may not be exactly a halfling gnome, whatever size. But if you remember, as an assassin moving around, you have changed your own sizes to move amongst places. And you can definitely change that in the depths of darkness. When there's not a whole lot of light.
If distance, darkness.
So if someone looked at him, you could correct. Right. So either one of those factors all could still well be into play, as well as you know, the hag could obviously.
Yeah, I forgot about polymorph.
So she dropped probably too high from there. But again, I mean, that's if she is the one in play. I don't want to suggest part of that, but I'm just saying all those things are very even, and as a member again of the Assassin's Guild, John, it is still not that hard for someone of skill to drop a size a bit if their clothing was off. Because again, no one's told you differently clothing wise. They've just told you who they saw, because that's what most general men will do. They kind of walk around unless there's something very odd, and that's if you're really looking at. Again, no one was thinking there was something wrong. So a lot of people's perspectives to you is definitely jaded in terms of proper information.
Spoke.
Okay, so there's definitely ways then we could have.
Well, let me ask this, Spoke. Being a member of the Assassin's Guild, this is basically an assassination, the way this is played out.
Yeah.
In your experience and knowledge and lore, who, and by who, I'm talking person, race, clan, whatever, who has the ability to utilize the ability to change their look, their appearance, but also the knowledge of using poison to assassinate?
Poison's pretty common assassin tool. Doesn't take any special skill to use the poison as much as, knowledge of what to use. Obviously changeling's a great thing to be, but I mean any real roguish type can pull it off with the right use of spells. Or
allow us to not conjecture in front of a potential witness.
Good point.
Yeah, where are we?
In front of the secretary's office. I've been talking in front of Gina when you guys have a snippet question. And Paul, apparently, who's the guard. Both of them are just standing there listening to you guys debating philosophy here. Theorizing.
Okay, why
and say,
John, to help you as well, please give me a history check this time. Straight up, just your history check modifier.
Who'd you say?
Jew.
Spoke. Me? Okay.
Spoke?
Oh, Spoke. Okay.
Ben, I turn to Paul, and again, I'm scowling, clank, and I say, you did not even react. My companions just set up a trap. They mentioned that there was an assassin. You moved not to protect the innocent person here. Your guard skills are insufficient. And I will try to, and I will take 2 steps forward.
I get paid $2 a freaking week on Metal man. Damn. I don't know what's happening here. No one's ever been
Sit
You should
down.
probably
doing this
step
stuff.
out.
I don't know what to do. I'm just standing there. You want me
Down.
to guard her? I'm guarding her.
HK, stop accusing the guards.
Back up towards Jake now. He's pretty upset.
Take Gina and step outside.
Not sure what's going on.
Milady, please
All
come this way.
right, I'm going to take her home. So he's going to take Gina home.
Yeah, good idea.
I got a 20 on the
Hey.
history roll.
All right.
Now we got the
What
room
was
to
your-
ourselves.
20?
You?
20,
Would
dirty
you
20.
please refrain from referring to him as an assassin in front of people? That is a terrible idea. I appreciate that you trust I can protect you, but I cannot do that under those circumstances indefinitely.
Eh.
You have just admitted to Paul that you're an assassin.